Hello traders, good week. Vladimir here, and this is the weekly video, monthly forecast for the week of 14th of February 2016. It's a good time for me to wish you all happy Valentine's Day as well. I hope you celebrate it the way you deserve with your loved ones and you have a very good time. Back to forex market. We saw some serious move last week, mainly on the second part. If it's the majors, which actually, well, the moves were serious, but on many pairs, they were actually zigzagging. So basically, back forth. They're still impressive as they provide several hundreds of points on pairs like the pound, like the New Zealandian, like the Australian. The moves were heavy. The biggest question remains what's coming next. And from my point of view, we should be focused with anti-dollar trading. On the long run, of course. Simply because I don't see any way, as for now, of course, the Fed continues to raise its rates. So all the kind of extra momentum, extra strength the dollar gained lately on the last few months, expecting these raisings, will actually be gone. And with that, I believe, as for now, the main trading will be anti-dollar, which means that simply every new bottom we might get, for majors, like for Australian, like for pound maybe. Okay, pound still, on the weekly chart, can do one more bottom just to recreate the divergence, right? So that's still doable, that still could happen, and mainly because not just the Fed afraid of the current global situation right now, the rest of the central banks as well. And the question will be, who is going to act first? So let's see what can we focus on this week. Let's quickly go over what we talked about last week, and let's see how it's connecting with this week as well. Let's have a look on our weekly forecast. Okay, so let's start with the dollar CAD, which we suggested we will be looking for sell zones. Okay, aiming this area, and that's what dollar CAD we can say provided this week, right? It didn't reach maybe the 141 yet. I will talk about it this week, but basically that's what it did provide. With this divergence, we got the drop down. I will explain today what I expect to come next. Next pair we've been talking about, that's again dollar CAD, euro dollar. We suggested we are going to look for potential sells here. We actually can buy dips until this zone before we sell. That was the buy suggested, and that's the euro dollar. That's the 1 hour chart. Followed well pretty much what we wanted, the ABC, right next to the buy zone, and we reached the area where we wanted that to happen. Here we go. Okay, that's the expectation, and that's the reality here. Now, next one we wanted to follow was pound dollar. We said drops down, and we are going for potential rallies. That was the pound dollar. Now, in reality, we didn't get the second wave. We just continued the rally, so we couldn't enjoy these buys from the bottoms yet. I will talk today how I see these things to happen. That's the euro pound daily. One more rally towards this area above 079, 080, and then potential drop, and this pair so far follows. Okay, and again today I will cover and explain what do I believe going to happen. I just show you that for continuation, so you see basically what's coming, what I expect to come next. Aussie dollar potential buy zone right on this bottom, right here, and we got it right on this place. Okay, and two waves should complete it right here somewhere. And again, we will see the continuation. That was the plan. Now take a look how it looked like on the 1 hour chart. Okay, here. pretty beautiful. Yeah, of course we have been lucky enough to read it very well. Okay, that's, you can see, happened right here. Pretty much exactly what we wanted. Next one, well, New Zealandian, same idea. Dollar yen, I said we are going to 114 zone, and dollar yen surprised as it dropped even lower. And that brings me to one interesting idea, which I'll show you in a second. Aussie Kiwi buy the 106 and lower, and we got a bounce here, but slightly lower. But the best thing now, we got a convergence. Okay, right here. So for me, it's gonna be like this setup, and I will explain everything today, of course. Gold. That's the idea. We wanted to go and look for potential sells, but we didn't get any setup, and just dropped above it without completing divergences. Nothing. Here we go. That was the area. There was no divergence completed and no divergence yet. So for gold, we couldn't take any action, and that's why we don't do nothing there yet. This setup failed, the 1 hour chart false break. This one failed. It provided just small drop down, but nothing more serious. Silver continues the rallies. CAD yen, well, it was playing inside our range. Right here, that was the drop at the end of the week. That's where we were playing it first. That was 4 hour chart. Here we go. Okay, so basically that's all we've had. Now let's see what are the opportunities waiting for us. Euro dollar, we were waiting for 113.50, 114, which we reached. Looking for drawdown, which we did see out Friday. Biggest question remain, what's coming next? And the answer for that would be decided by the beginning of the week, probably. Now attention, for Monday we have Presidential Day on USA, which means low volatility as the central bank will be closed, of course. US traders away. Low volatility follows accordingly, of course. I still think everything will be decided by the anti-dollar move to come. Okay. Question is when it's going to come. So euro is able to do that, maybe even new bottom, but it's also able to do that and take us to extension of this cycle. Okay. So if we measure this cycle, right, you can see we dropped right from 100, but we could get the extension. We are still going to stay inside the range, and this extension would be really wonderful. And if we reach there, that could be some monster sell for the euro dollar. Now, the higher the euro go, the more pressure would be on Mr. Draghi to act, right? And the higher we go, the better our sell is. Now the good part here is that the euro dollar now is developing the same wave exactly. That with the finishing is exactly that with the finishing. 1-to-1 movement. So yeah, we can still play here and then boom. We have speech from Draghi on Monday, and that's what could take the euro dollar to below 111, and on the same time that's what could take the euro dollar to above 115, maybe even 117 zone. Okay. So I do remain bearish in my mind, but basically there is a chance that the euro will stop that and rally towards 117. So we will have to pay attention to this scenario. The only scenario will get the euro triggered very seriously if we can go below 111, actually 110.80 approximately, this bottom. If we can get below in 2 waves, then we will be looking for sell rallies, because that will create a convergence. Another pair that brings me to the ear is the euro versus the pound. Also wonderful pair opportunity, because yeah, it could from one side reach the the 080, 081 zone. It's doable, but on the same time, this triple cycle seems ready to start. Okay, considering the fact that we have triple cycle, triple spot false break, divergence, 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 divergence everywhere. It looks good. With the false break, it looks good, engulfing really serious. Now, let's see how the week starts. Now, if we can get this convergence with the break below this bottom, okay, that would be a monster call for sell rallies, because that means we can go to mirror this cycle down, as long as this stop holds, of course. If the stop will not hold, we have nothing to do. Okay, so if we do break below this bottom, which is 07707 approximately, on the 1 hour chart we are about to complete 5 wave movements. Alright, that's pretty classical for, and that could be the last drop. And if we can get it here, then we are going to 078 approximately once again, maybe slightly higher, and then boom, probably taking us for the next bottom. And again, all will be relevant as long as 079 top holds. If we cross above it, we do expect 080, 081 before the sell-off. Pound dollar, tricky, very, but I will not be surprised if the pound dollar take us to here. Okay, we did have a 2-wave cycle. We do have kind of a correction here. Ideally, Mr. Pound Dollar should do this, cross to below here and false break it, and then we can try the buys towards 148 or so, maybe even higher, and all that relevant as long as this bottom holds, of course. If it just continues, I wouldn't even try bother here. I would just let it go, and from this place, where's the duplication, I would be looking for the next sells. I'm really not sure weekly chart is over, and there was no divergence yet on daily chart to provide the end of this drop. So yeah, I believe this cycle is endable. It could do this, of course, first of all, take us back to the trend line zone, and then boom. That would be ideal, of course. But we'll have to see how everything goes from here. Ideally, once again, we drop down to below 143.50, something like 143, 142.50. False break the 143.50, break down, break up, close above, and look for buys. That's the ideal setup. Dollar CAD. Are we going straight to 135, 132, maybe 130? There is a chance for that, but something smells fishy here. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, of course. It does feel like this wave is going to be duplicated one more time to above here. The question, how? We might get the double wave here and a rally. Second scenario, we drop now into a range because we have a false break, and we can remain in this range. So boom, boom, boom. That's the play, to mirror this. And next to come. So I tend to believe as long as 136.40 bottom holds, we should see rally towards 141, 142 zone. That's at least how I believe things about to happen. Now, if we just keep dropping here without divergence, without nothing we can do, and if it breaks the bottom, we slightly, probably going to continue lower. And how much lower? So how much lower? Again, we will have to measure this, and expansion is going to be right here. So at least this, right? So that's why I say two scenarios. Let's see which one brings what. Dollar yen. Wow, that's a monster after the last break, and there are rumors that Kuroda is going to intervene, Bank of Japan is going to intervene. Not sure what they left in their weapons. So for me, seller rallies, I don't see any reason why dollar yen is going to stop here. I do believe we are going to below 110, probably 108 zone. If you take a look on this cycle, okay, that's pretty serious. And if you take a look on this cycle as well, you will discover that this is the boss expansion zone. We have a monster here, right? So the biggest question remains, can we see that here? And I believe the answer is yes. For me, two waves rallies to mirror this beauty like that would be an ideal sell, but I would not be surprised at all if dollar yen is going to make something like that and then a drop down as well, or just continuation. If it does, that's going to be monster triple, and then of course 108 plus minus, prepare the buy zone. Next one on the list, New Zealand dollar. Well, this one is tricky, but yet I believe with that's not the pen here, that's the pen. I believe the trend line is going to hold. That's the double wave, which I believe we will see continuation from. So for me, it's yet buy opportunities starting from 0.6570 down to 0.65 ish. That could be around daily 20 MA. Now I believe from there we are going for one more high to complete the two waves, which will make the central bank to intervene. But I remain bullish in my mind as for now. Only if we break below 0.6450, I would say, I would be worrying. As for now, I believe we are going higher. Aussie dollar, same scenario, but for Aussie dollar, there is something we have to pay attention to. Despite the divergence, the pair losing momentum. That's a warning sign normally. There is a chance we are into one more bottom. And one more bottom means we can get to 0.63, we can get even 0.60. So we will have to be very, very, very careful here. I still think while this bottom holds, we should be looking for potential buys, especially because of the triple cycle. Okay, like this. We could get mirrored like this and then a rally. That's a possibility to 0.73 or so, maybe even higher, and then a drop. Okay, but we will have to pay attention for this pair and trade it very, very carefully. Those of you who catch this bottom and holding, just hold. You can, just in case, protect to free the risk. Let it go for potential duplication, but play it very, 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 very safe. We have two scenarios here to pay attention to. Okay, one, drop down, double wave, divergence. Remember, no cycle ends without divergence, so we have to make sure our cycle ends with divergence. Then we can go for buy as long as this bottom holds. And if it doesn't have any divergence and just keep going, remove it, let it go. All right, very, very important. And the cross in between Aussie Kiwi. Now, how beautiful is this pair? I believe this pair is about to do the head and shoulder stuff. Why am I thinking so? Let me show you some interesting thing here, okay? Pretty rare, but pretty cool. Drop down, this high is higher than, this low is higher than this low. And this low is higher than this low. Now check what's going on here. Boom, this low is higher than this low. And this low, so far, is higher than this low. Same idea of the shoulder. Second shoulder could turn to be great head and shoulder, followed by divergence. That makes sense, right? So for me, risk reward is so beauty, I cannot say no to that. Okay, band to band, we love it. We will want to see some kind of drop and jump in. That's a bullish convergence. Bullish convergence brings in the bulls as a momentum. Our setups would be relevant as long as this bottom holds, of course. Drop down to lower time frames. That's the 1 hour chart. We had a double wave. Okay, boom, boom, boom. We could see double wave down again, ideally to the place of 106.50 and lower, down to 106. From there, look for bullish divergence. Very likely it's gonna be bullish hidden. Okay, something like that. And from there, that's what we will be looking for. Small risk, huge reward. Neckline of the head and shoulders. First of all, that's 113. That's a monster, right? So let's see if we can get it, and of course we will have to respect the potential triangle, right? So the top of the triangle, we will have to respect it and see what's coming. If we have any divergence against, we will be better protecting there as well. Okay, so pay attention for this pair. From my point of view, one of the greatest. Of course, while the last bottom holds, break below the last bottom, tricky. Alright, next one. Well, I would want to say about yen pairs, but I think we have more than enough with dollar yen. Actually, I believe all of them should follow. If the pound yen, CAD yen, all this can do this, I will be looking for sell. Sell with divergence. Sell with bearish divergence. That's all. Okay, I'm not sure at all we have any reasons for a stop. I do think pound yen could cross all the way to below 160. I do believe 150 is reachable. So for me, boom, 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 two waves to mirror this, and I'll be looking for sells, sells, sells. To make long story short, okay, and it's relevant for all the yen pairs, so really nothing to renew here. Gold. Now, after crossing this area and continuing higher, crossing here, I still think gold is about to top. For temporary, because this is a monster bullish convergence. So yeah, two waves down, buy. Because on the next buy, I believe we are going towards 1350, 1400, maybe even higher. So what's about to happen here? We need a convergence, or we need a bearish divergence. We didn't have any bearish divergence except the extreme on daily, which is good. Okay, this is the extreme I refer to, of course. Take a look. MACD and RSI, completely new highs. RSI above 80, MACD on new high ever on the last like two years or so. Really great setup. Okay, Bollinger Band duplicated almost twice. Really monster. But except that, no divergence to confirm as a potential good entry with a small risk. Right, the risk is huge now. So ideally we rally up for a false break, and then we can look to start build sells. Or the alternative, we are going to play it ugly, and ugly means like small drop, rally, that would be like here, like a new top, then a drop, then kind of convergence. Okay, following me? And well, that's what I call play ugly, because this is going to be without divergence, without false break, so it's really tricky. But still could play the role and still could give us the signs. If we get convergence, what we need? Two waves pull back and then sell the break of this trend line. Okay, then if it happens, aim for the correction. Correction should take us to around well, there is a bank zone first of all, so yeah, this is the bank zone right here. So I believe we're going here. That's around 12.10, 12.15. After that, I believe we're going to 11.90, 11.80, and lower we could get it maybe even around 11.60, 11.50 before we fly back. That's the trend line. That's why I believe sometime on the next 2-3 weeks, we're going to revisit that and start the rally for new highs. Silver should follow, so I won't duplicate my words. Trend line close to that, and we can go and start the buys. Those of you who followed my sayings, start the investment on silver, just keep your investments. We've been talking about that even before the end of 2015, so just hold that going. And about the indices, well, my view didn't change. I still think we are after new bottoms. For me, rallies should be sold. Rallies could be in two waves. We could go inside kind of a range here, top of the range, and again a sell. Okay, so we just need to have these two waves. Now, if we break above this high, we create convergence, pullbacks, and we can buy to the top of the range and then sell again. That's the idea. Nothing changed here. Oil. Did oil change its trend? Well, not sure at all. Weekly without divergence yet. Daily though, kinda bullish candle, right? But the problem, this is a morning star. I don't like morning star normally. So to make it more conservative, we broke the trend line here. 1 hour chart, we actually, no, we don't. We don't have any convergence here. We do have convergence between these tops. So basically, once we get in, if we get, that's the most important thing, kind of correction to here, break of this trend line, we can try buys with small risk and try to rally into second wave. Something like 30, 31, 32, depending until where we will get some bearish divergence to form then. And then we can cash out. Okay? If it doesn't follow and just go for one more bottom, let it go until the weekly divergence will complete. And that could take 1, 2, 3 more weeks, of course. And one thing I want to pay your attention to, because that's gonna be great investment from my point of view, natural gas. I believe we are going a bit lower. I believe we are going for a monster setup to visit this trend line, like triple cycle here, like Bollinger Band duplication. That should happen somewhere like 1.60, 1.20 zone, anything there. If we can get that completed, that could be just an amazing kind of things like that buy opportunity. That could be also another false break here. So once we get to this place, if we get to this place and we get bullish divergence completing, guys, we are going for something like that. That could be something that will triple, quadruple, or much more multiply your money. Keep an eye. Okay, you remember I've been talking about sugar, and I remember I got so many questions about it. Vlad, how do you come to this sugar? Okay, you remember I was talking about that, right? Here. We got amazing fly. It's over than 50% rally from its price. It was below 10, around 10. So just think about it. Okay, and I still think for long run, it's not done. I'm just wondering, can we get one more bottom here, maybe even to make it more amazing? So that's what I'm wondering about here. So we'll see. So natural gas is about to make something like that, the same. It's gonna be monster, right? So keep your eye on that. And that will be all, my friends. That will be all. There are much more pairs like pound, kiwi, and so on, providing some opportunities, but I prefer to watch how they develop during the week and to see what we get from there. I'm not sure pound kiwi done. Ideally, we get it back to this trend line, completing the triple cycle here, and then we're flying for new highs. So until then, yeah, we could play inside the range. We could maybe even rally higher. I'm not sure at all we're done completely with the next bottom. So, but about these pairs, we will see how intraday and during the day we get that. Reminder, Monday USA is off. We are off. Don't trade unless the trades you already hold, of course. We're back on Tuesday and we're back to trade then. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. I wish you wonderful trading, and feel free to share this video with anyone who you believe can enjoy from it, can have benefit from it, and well, like it, of course. If you have any comment, if you have any question about trading ideas, I'm here for you. Leave a comment. I will reply, of course. And that's all. Thanks for watching. Thank you for your time. Yours, Vladimir.